Welcome to the Member Minute Show brought to you by the Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce. This is where we highlight the businesses that are driving growth, innovation, and connection in our community. I'm your host, Shahira Jarrett Gallen, the founder and president of the Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce. So let's meet today's featured guest. Hi, Maurice.
Hey, Siwa, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so excited to have you on for our very first episode of Minute with a Member. Just an opportunity for us to delve deeper into the stories of our members and local entrepreneurs. And I'm excited to hear your story. So let's start real easy, real nice and easy, because this is just a conversation about, a little bit about your background growing up and why you wanted to become an engineer.
Okay, firstly, I'd like to say I'm honored to be here on the show, and I appreciate everything that you're doing for the community.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, going back in high school, I was always very strong in math,
Mm.
and my father was an electrician, and I guess he saw in his workplace the engineers were the top of the you know pyramid, and he came home and he said, "Hey, you should be an engineer." So, in high school, everything sounds great and easier said than done.
Yeah.
I wrote it even in my high school yearbook that I was going to be an engineer.
Mm.
And when I got to college, those courses really hit you hard,
Yeah.
and you have to really consider the amount of commitment that you're putting into it. I went into engineering. I actually found it very difficult, the science, switched to
Mm.
mathematics, which I thought was more suited for me.
Hmm.
Um, didn't have a clear path on where I wanted to be mathematics, switched to business because I was told that's where the money is. And then eventually I stopped going to school because I really had no direction. I was spending money, and yeah, I dropped out. And I worked as an electrician with my father at our house. There was a rule: you had to go to college, get a trade, or move out. Those were the three options you had. So I tried college. So I said I went to become an electrician, which I soon realized it's difficult work as well. You
Yeah.
know, so being here in South Florida, it was hot, and working with your hands, I really didn't think it was suited for me either. And
Gotcha.
so I said, all right, it's either I got to get out or I got to go back to college. So I said,
Okay.
okay, college doesn't see, after working for a while, college doesn't seem as bad as it did
That's
the
true.
first time around.
That's true.
And I was able to successfully from there put the work in, put the effort in, and get my degree here at FAU.
I love that because we often see the end product and don't realize that there were decisions or twists and turns along the way. I didn't know that about you, Maurice. So this is really
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so at that point, you decided to become an engineer. So what was your first job experience in your field
So
once you
with the
graduated?
engineering that I do, it's very specific.
Hmm.
So, engineering is very broad. There are a lot of different things
Yeah.
you can do within engineering, especially with electrical,
True.
communication, computers, microelectronics, high power, utility power. Um, so again, going back to the family business of electrician, the type of engineering I do is closely related to an electrician. We do the
Oh.
design for them to implement. So it was actually a proud moment for my father as well that
Oh, okay.
we could collaborate on certain things,
Okay.
which they always appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I went in the evenings, so FAU didn't have AutoCAD, and I knew for this particular type of engineering, AutoCAD was a requirement. So I took night classes. Um, I took AutoCAD and advanced AutoCAD at night, and
Nice.
at that point, started looking while I was in school for opportunities. I came across an opportunity through a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Always good to have connections
Yeah.
to an
Mm-hmm.
engineering firm. And I said, hey, I know AutoCAD. I know advanced AutoCAD, and I am a fourth year electrical engineering student.
Nice.
And they said, well, we don't have any openings for engineers at the moment.
Okay.
So I offered to work for free.
Wow.
Look, you don't have to pay me. I'll do whatever you need in here. So they offered me deliveries and trash.
Hmm.
So at that point, I was like, I'm in the door.
Right. Right.
I'm in the door. And I would run around that office and take all the trash out, get in my
Mhm.
car, do the deliveries like a madman. And when I would get back to the office, I would go to everyone's office, the engineers, and say, "Hey, I know CAD. I know CAD. Do you need help?" Every day I would
Wow.
walk around, go out, deliver, make coffee. Finally, one day, one guy said, "Hey, I'm a little tied up right now. Can you do this for me?"
Wow.
I went. I stayed late. I did that off the clock. I had it ready for him when he came in the morning.
Wow.
So the next day I came in, he was like, "Hey, that was a good job. Can you do
Mm-hmm.
this for me as well?" So I was like,
Nice.
"Fine." And my
Nice.
deliveries came around, back, dropped it off, and it went on like that for a few weeks
Hmm.
until after a couple weeks, someone else approached me and said, "Hey, I heard that you were able to do this and this for so and so.
I
Can
love
you do it
that.
for me too?" I was like, "Sure, no problem. Let me just do my deliveries, my coffee."
Right.
And I'd say it was less than a month. The owner came to me and he's like, "Hey, we got somebody else to do coffee and deliveries and trash.
I love that.
We have a position open for you here." So I was like, "Fine, no
Oh,
problem.
wow.
Here's my trash bags. I'm ready to work."
Exactly.
Yeah, started from there, and then at graduation, they offered me a position.
I love that.
So
That
that's
is
that's one thing.
awesome.
You know, don't be too proud to take anything to get an opportunity. You
Yeah,
know, and whatever opportunity you have, um, do it to the best of your ability. My
true.
deliveries, the trash, the coffee, it showed something. Consistency. And then I was able to do the work in my time, and they thought I was a good fit. So that was the beginning of what I do now, my first opportunity as an engineer.
I love that. And that really is a story in not only hard work, but persistence. You going by those offices every day, show your face and say, look, this is what I know. I'm available. And that persistence opened up that opportunity. Obviously, you were prepared for the opportunity too,
Yes,
because
yeah,
you knew exactly what to do. And I love that because that can translate even to small businesses now where sometimes we have our eyes on that big contract, but we
right.
may not be ready, or someone may not be ready to give us that opportunity at that moment. So, sometimes you may want to start smaller. So, you worked at this company that your friend kind of got you into for a while, worked your way up from deliveries to doing the work that you wanted to do within your degree area. So, how long were you at the company? And at what point did you decide in your career that you wanted to start your own business? Because that is a very big leap. That's a big step, Maurice.
It is a big step. And you mentioned earlier about taking small steps,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I did 6 years at that first firm,
Okay.
and an opportunity came up to do work at a larger firm,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with more government type work, which is what
Okay.
I wanted to. So I worked at that firm, and actually, that firm is kind of where I modeled my business after. I
Very
took
good.
a few things that they did and I liked.
Mhm.
Even from the first company, I took a few things that they did and I liked, and
Nice.
I brought them into what I wanted to do. And um, let me back up. So going back to getting the PE, that was the first step. So first you had to get the FE exam. I probably
Okay.
studied 3 months. I failed it 3 times. I'm not
Okay.
ashamed to say. I was persistent. I didn't
It's a
study
tough
as hard.
test. It's a tough test, as I
Yeah, the
understand.
first few
Yeah.
times I didn't study as hard, but
Okay.
once I realized it wasn't going to happen without huge effort, I put 3 months in, I passed.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
We
good,
get to
good.
that point with these standardized exams
Yeah.
where, yeah, I took that, turned right around and prepared and took the PE exam not long after.
Nice.
And at that point, um, I had big ambitions and I went to work for a national firm,
Oh,
an international firm as well as a
very
project
nice.
manager. And let's say the work was a lot. I worked
Mm,
12-hour days
mm,
and I probably worked 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday as
okay.
well. And I did that for about a year, working with India and other places in the
Mm-hmm.
country. And at the time, my wife, she was pregnant with our second child,
Yeah.
and I had missed a whole year of life. And it just wasn't worth it. I was
Yeah.
really burnt out.
Yeah.
So I left that firm and I went to work for a small firm close to home, which
Okay.
was good. And that actually gave me another perspective
Hmm.
of how a small business operates.
Right.
And that's really when I started getting the spark of, okay, this is how you scale. This is a small
Mm,
business, 4 or 5 people. Like I
mm-hmm.
came from firms that were 80 people,
Yeah.
30 people, but now I got the perspective of a small firm of 5 people. And I worked there for 6 years. And at the time, I approached the owner and I said, hey, look, I think I'm going to do my own thing.
Mm.
And this is what I'm planning on doing. And he said, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we shook hands, parted ways. We even still stay in touch. We would
Okay. Very
even still
nice.
share work when I first got started. He would give me
Okay.
work. Right. So we had a
Very
good
nice.
relationship there. And during the pandemic, I started my own business, not
Mm.
knowing what was going to happen beginning of the pandemic. Um, but for me, what I did was I had saved up $30,000. I don't know if we're
Very
talking
good.
here. And I knew that my annual bills to run my household was about $70,000.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I have 30,000 put aside.
Mm-hmm.
I got a year to make 40,000. If I can't
Right.
make it 40,000, I'm going to get a job,
Okay.
right? And luckily, I never touched that 30,000.
Ah, very good.
I mean, it was long days. I don't want to make it seem like it was a fairy tale. There were
Right.
long days, weekends. I put in a lot of time and effort and never went back to that. I still have that money put aside
Nice.
as a reminder.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I love that too because um you had different perspectives given the different companies you worked for, which I think is important, having that experience and seeing the way other companies work because you're able to take that over to yours, the good things, the things that will help you run more effectively and efficiently. And I like that you didn't burn bridges as well. And because you didn't, because you're likable, first of all, Maurice, you're very likable. So I can't imagine you burning a bridge. But the fact that your employer was able to give you work, your former employer said, hey, although you have your own business, I'm going to give you work. We can still partner on some things. That says a lot about you,
Thank
how
you.
people view you, your integrity, your work ethic, and, you as an overall person. So that's really good. And I think that's an important lesson for people to understand too. You don't walk out the door and say, I'm out of here. I'm starting my own, my
Yeah.
own thing. Be humbled as you leave because you
I was
really
humbled.
do you really don't know what will
You
happen on the
really
other
don't
side of
know.
starting that business. Okay, so you start and tell us the name of your company. Big reveal.
Uh,
Drum
uh,
roll.
ML Engineering and Inspection Services.
Okay, so you start your engineering company, and so what are the types of clients that you had, and how did you find these clients besides obviously some referrals from your former employer?
Oh, I mean, I had been in South Florida in the business for almost 2 decades
Okay,
at that time.
nice,
So I thought, no, 20 years. Yeah, about 20 years. So
nice.
as you mentioned, I really didn't burn many bridges. I still
Yeah.
had a lot of relationships with people. Once I put the word out, that I was in business, people started coming to me, and they started referring me. And then I get one job, you get introduced to somebody, you do a good job for them, they
Nice.
introduce you to somebody. So pretty much, since I opened the doors, I've never advertised.
Oh, I love that.
It's all word of mouth, and I think having integrity and honesty,
Hmm.
it goes a long way. It's tough sometimes when you're pressed to always do the honorable thing, even when it hurts you. But I really believe
Yeah,
that it comes back around. I
it
really
does.
believe that it comes back around.
I
I
agree.
strongly believe that. So, here we are. Um, I marketed initially to do the milestone recertification.
Hmm.
So that's why I put the services in the company name because, or the inspection services, sorry,
Right.
because I wanted to focus on those. I saw the rise in that.
Ah,
And then, unfortunately, when the tragedy happened, the building had that structural failure. All the cities now started focusing on it, and it really drove a lot of business our way.
mm,
That was a big part of the initial growth. But I never want to have all my eggs in one basket,
yep.
so we kind of spread it out. We do, commercial work. We do office, retail, um, restaurants. We do educational, religious facilities. We do all
Okay.
those. Um, we do the inspections as well as another branch. We do
Right.
the milestones inspection. We do thermography inspection. We'll do those things. And now, with your help, I have been getting into the government side of it.
Yeah.
And thanks to you for a lot of pushing and supporting. And even people have mentioned to me they heard about me from you.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big
thank you for
fan. When
that.
I have some I meet some good people, you want other people to know good people too and what they do.
Thank you.
I
I've
love
actually
that.
gotten maybe about 4 opportunities from someone that you
Yay.
had mentioned to reach out
That
to
is
me.
wonderful. That
Thank
is
you.
wonderful. That is wonderful. So you started the company, and it's my pleasure. So you started the company, and you kind of have in your title a little bit of what you do, the inspection side,
Yeah,
and which became even more important after the Surfside collapse of the condo in Surfside some time ago. So that part of your business you've always done, but it ticked up after that, is what you're saying.
yes.
Yes.
It
Okay.
went, I mean, so we were doing about 5 of those inspections a year.
Uh
And following Surfside, we were doing 5 a month.
huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
it
Five a
really,
year to
yeah.
five a month.
It got to the point where
Wow.
we were turning them down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were
Wow.
able to use some of that we purchased our own space, renovated it,
Yeah.
and that was helpful. Yeah, we were renting one office space, and then we outgrew it, so we took on a second space in that building. We
Right.
outgrew it, so we took on a third space in that building, and we were really disjointed.
Yeah.
And we're all together now, and everything flows a lot better. The
Yeah.
communication
So
is
now
better.
you can feel like a team. You're all in the
Yes,
that same space. I love
yes,
that. And no,
yes,
and that is really a huge part of that goal. You know, that ownership. Obviously, when you start your own business, you want to provide for yourself and your family.
yes,
Um, but then to then take it one step further, not just owning your business, but now owning some real estate. It's a
yeah.
big step. Congratulations in
Thank you,
that.
thank
Yay.
you.
Soon you'll be onto a building and other things, you know. I'm just speaking
Don't.
it out there. But speaking that into existence. But you started out by yourself, right? It was just you kind of working in your company. Were you
Yeah,
alone when you initially started? Okay.
yeah. I started off in my living room,
All
and
right.
my son's train set was my blueprint table.
I love that. I love
Yeah, and then
that.
it got a little uncomfortable. At some time, clients were coming to the house.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes it'd
That's
be
it.
late, and my kids would be going by, my wife, and so I took a small office.
Okay.
Was They have those small offices like 400 a month. but
Yeah.
I could move everything away from the house, and it was
Yeah.
affordable. Yeah, and then
Good.
we expanded to bigger, bigger, bigger. Those things are very helpful. Those office cubes.
Yeah.
It's a good launching place, separates you from home, which I found important.
It is.
Just get up, go there, focus, and then when the work is done, go back home and it's separated. For me, that was helpful. At
Yeah.
home, there were a lot of distractions.
Of
I
course.
wasn't as focused as I could be away from the office. So
No,
productivity went up once I had that separate space, the
I
workspace.
agree with that because when you're at home, there's always something to do or that you can be doing related to
Right,
the home
right,
life. And so, yeah, your
right.
mind can get distracted. So you went from you at home working on your son's train set area to how many employees do you have now? What are we looking at?
Oh, so we're five. We're five.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. See, and that's
Thank
the next thing, right? Especially for our businesses, owning something in the company name, which is very important, but then being able to hire others, provide jobs and opportunities for others. And I know you don't just do that in providing jobs, but I believe we spoke before and you talked about creating opportunities with regard to internships and things of that
Yes.
nature, so that you're now training up the next generation of professionals in your industry. And that's important. Speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for myself. I was hungry one time and looking for opportunities. And,
Yeah.
I was fortunate to get one. So I definitely want to open that up, developing young engineers and, setting up the next generation to be successful. My son is studying mechanical engineering. So
Come
he's a part
on.
of that generation.
I love it. I love it. Look, look, you're hitting all points on the first show, Maurice. And then succession planning, that
Yes,
generational wealth, passing it on. I love that. That is so important. Because it's like obviously we want our children and the next generation to be able to stand on our shoulders. And that
yeah,
means being able to pass along something to them, right? For them to
yes.
have that foundation already built and not starting, from scratch like we
From
had to figure it
scratch.
out. I
Exactly.
love that. Yay.
Yeah, he's
So
got he's
look,
got a big boost when he gets ready to finish. Yeah, he'll
look.
graduate next year.
Oh, very, very nice. Very nice. I'm so excited for you. I mean, from the time we met, I said to myself, well, and I try to do that with all of our businesses. How can I help? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And we'll try our best to help. But at the end of the day, it's because I and others see something in you, that drive, the dedication, the
Thank you.
determination, the pursuit of excellence, Maurice. And I think that's what's so important, that pursuit of excellence in what you do and the fact that you want to bring others along. So I'm super happy that you are our first guest on the show for our Minute
Wow,
with
I'm
a
honored.
Member.
I am honored. Hey,
I love it. So
thank you for
tell,
thinking of me. You always
no,
consider me.
absolutely. I want folks to hear those stories. And there were so many important nuggets in your story, how you started college and then you said, hey, this isn't working out. Let me try something else. And then through real world experience, realize that, hey, college is for me. But then you kept working and being
Yeah,
persistent, even in, the first opportunity you got, which was not within your degree scope, but said, I'm going to make it within my degree scope. And you were persistent. And I think, having those traits, follow you through life to where you are now, makes a difference. And it's important for people to hear that. Tell the folks how to reach you. How can they reach ML Engineering?
oh, well, you can look us up on the website, mleis.com.
Nice.
Yeah, ml-eis.com. Sorry, I don't do
Perfect.
the
Perfect.
website a lot. Um, the phone number is 954-233-2665. We're located in Coral Springs, but we do
Love it.
work throughout Florida.
Oh,
We
I
have
love it.
projects in Gainesville,
I
we have
love
projects in
it.
Tampa, West
Yeah.
Palm Beach, the Keys,
Come
Miami.
on. Come
We're
on.
even licensed in Alabama and South Carolina if
I
you have
love it.
opportunities there as well.
I
So
love
yeah,
it.
stop in and see us. We just opened our new office last year, and if you have any needs, engineering wise, inspection wise, just give us a call.
I love that. I love that. I love the growth. I'm so excited for you, Maurice. I'm so excited for you. And once again, as you know, if you need anything, we're here. But really just wanted to be able to highlight you, your company, and your story because I think it's so important that we share our stories. So thank you for being a guest on our show, our first show. And
Thank
we'll
you for
definitely,
honoring me with for being the first guest.
no problem. Well, folks, I'm super excited for this being our first show. Thank you again to Maurice for coming on and not only sharing with us some details about his personal journey, but telling us about his company. It's not often that we get to hear those personal stories. So often we see the person where they are, the result, the end result of their hard work, but we don't understand the journey. And this is what this show is all about. Taking a minute to understand how entrepreneurs got to where they are. So thank you for joining us today, and make sure you join us next time for Minute with a Member with the Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce. Thanks.